I'm bad enough, everybody.
When have you ever bad
When was the
mouthed
last time I
anybody?
bad enough?
You don't bad mouth anybody.
I get upset for a little while.
I hope the internet works tonight.
Yeah, I
It was
hope
off
so
the one
too.
last week. I don't know, sat in the car.
Yes.
It was horrible.
And the worst part about it is this station doesn't pick up very well at the house, or at the
Yeah.
garage, or at my house.
Yeah.
It wasn't going in and out, but it would get a lot of static on it once in a while.
That's why I go into the website,
Okay.
hit the listen live button, and then it's like listening to NASCAR or something where it's like,
Yeah,
correct.
a lot of times I'll watch it on replay. That's what I did.
I do that too. Like, I don't watch mine, but like Tommy's show, I'll watch it. when I get
Tyler's
time,
show,
yeah.
I watch Tyler's show, we play a lot of time. Last night I caught it. I was down here at the Lumber Directs, big shindig they got every year, down there last night. I just got much time at home.
So you go do the internet?
Yeah, I can.
Let me get you a comfortable chair.
I got you here. I got my old faithful.
There's nobody here for us?
Wade just left.
Oh, he was in here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I usually wait till he leaves and then nobody comes in after us. Used to be two different people. And
Okay.
they both quit doing their shows. Number 3. We'll do it about we'll start at 10 after. And watch what you say on the air.
I'm almost done.
What happened to the daughter? She was posting for a while.
She got into baseball with her son,
Oh, okay.
and she says, "Dad," she goes, "you really need me because like I'm running the baseball every night." And I'm like, "Jamie, I'll do it myself. You know, I just was like having you help me. You know,
Right.
but I understand she don't ain't into racing that much, so."
Everybody's got stuff to do.
So then she never did. Well, then she went to, in Halloween, they do a haunted trail for the one thing that they're members of
Right.
down in, where is that? It ain't Spring Mills, it's right down below Spring Mills, West Virginia there. Isaac Dalton.
Oh, okay. That's Greg.
What do I do now?
You don't know me, do you, Greg?
I don't. Do I know you?
We were out
Thank you.
How you doing?
50, 60 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna
What did you
say.
do? Go to school together?
Baseball team.
Yeah,
Played Little League together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I went to Greencastle for a while, but 5th grade, my dad bought the farm and went to the league right there.
Yeah.
I seen your shindig last night. I was going to say something.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I ran into you today. Yeah. So he's much older than I am,
Yeah.
but you know.
He's older than everybody, I think.
Yeah, I'm older than everybody.
I turned 70 31st of October.
Okay.
No way.
Oh yeah, and that one, 50 and 60 didn't
Well, you
bother
don't
me.
look it.
Thank you. But 70's like, that's old.
Yeah.
Dang, that's old.
Yeah.
But no, well, what you
I
gonna
remember,
do?
when I was a little kid, my parents were like 55, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
they're old.
I thought my teachers were old at 25. When I was that good, so. Now that's just the basketball schedule. There's only 5 Tuesdays, and we go on about 7:15. So whatever you want to do on those days, is how that goes. But that's not bad actually this year.
Yep, we work around it like always.
I know you always do.
I appreciate it. I
No.
appreciate you giving me the heads up.
Yeah. Yep. So glad I can see you. It's good seeing you.
Happy
Good seeing
Thanksgiving.
you.
Thank you. You too. Where are you
Merry
living
Christmas,
now?
I'll see you.
Live in Chambersburg, but I'm still back on the farm back in Bino.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my wife wanted to live in Chambersburg, so we moved to Chambersburg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice up there.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You still in town, right?
Oh yeah. I've only lived in 4 places since I was born.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Cool.
I only lived in 2.
Really? Okay. That's
3
good.
maybe.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Well, and 2 of them's like next to each other.
Yeah.
But I did move in at the edge of
Yeah.
town when I first got married.
Yeah. We're out at Melrose now.
Okay.
Right across the street from Heritage Retirement Home. So
Yeah.
they can just push me down on a wheelchair right across it.
Don't need to escort
No,
you.
it'll work perfectly. So,
Thank you, Greg.
hey, great to see
See
you.
you, take care.
No, you knew him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
So is Will.
Huh?
So is Will.
Me, huh? No.
Yes, you are.
I hate everybody, remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, really. All right, we got 10 seconds.
Put them on.
You don't have to.
Good.
We've got a couple people here.
And welcome everybody to the On Track with Mike show. I'm your host Mike Kershner here, live and in the flesh in the rain. And then we got to turn some mics on here. I don't know how many mics we got. 2, 3. There you go. Got a good show tonight. Got a man. I bet he don't even know this. It popped up on my Facebook. Now I don't know if you was here in between it, but 6 years. 6 years tomorrow is the last time you was on the show. Unless you was on in the middle sometime.
No.
It just come up to whenever it had like 6 year thing memory or whatever, and I was like, what is the chances of that? But yeah, we got Will in the studio. We're gonna call him. Let people call him Alyssa's dad because Alyssa is the one that So that's a little joke we got going there. But how you doing, Will?
I'm doing good so far.
I'm sorry to run you out in all this bad weather.
I was just on the way home from the farm.
I needed one of them canes that the blind people use to put outside my window so I could see where the road was. And I said, Shirley, can you see the road? She says, yeah. I said, well, then maybe you should drive because I can't.
I'm the same way. The traffic's so terrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh my, it's the worst I've ever seen it.
She said something must be going on 81. Well, there was no tractor trailers.
No, it was all
It was all cars.
I went to Mikey's to get something to eat. It took me 5 minutes to go to the parking lot.
He went to Mikey's to get something to eat and he ended up getting breakfast. How you doing, Shirley? What we doing?
I'm good.
Got anybody checking in yet?
Yeah, I do. I have a few here. I have Keith Walls says hello. You don't get your arm out of my face.
I'm trying to give you a mic so people can hear you.
They can hear me.
See,
I have
Will,
a big
what
mouth.
I go through?
Keith Walls says hello.
Hey,
Mark
Keith.
Huffman says hello.
Mark.
Keith Boyer. Let me see. It took it away from me here. I got to find it. Says Will is one of the best. Pretty cool to own a car he built for Alan.
It must be Alan Stone.
Oh yeah, I built. Yeah.
Will is a good guy.
Built a couple for Alan.
Tyler Koenig.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
says,
Tyler, he helps us
can't
on the race
wait to
car."
hear. Wait to hear Willie's stories. Love working with Will and Alyssa. They are some of the greatest people in racing. The Rao family is great people.
Tyler, he knows all the facts and figures.
And your
Yes.
daughter's
Yes, he
listening.
does.
And Glenn Grimm says, hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Let's get the business out of the way. Not that it's not important, but we always got to thank the people we need to thank
Got one more here.
before we get talking.
Rick Holson. Hello, everyone. Will's a great guy. I enjoy talking with him.
That's the first I've ever heard him say anything nice to
Hello,
anybody.
Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Will is a good guy.
As always, Todd Ward of TA Ward Construction. Appreciate everything he does for us and everything he does for everyone that he is in with. And as I always say, over 40 years of experience, local veteran, fully insured. Don't live too far from Will Rowe's shop.
Yep. Lives right down the road.
Just look for the real pretty wood porch and wood.
He did a lot of porches along that road.
Yeah, his house, man, it got all that nice wood.
He just finished the neighbors up.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah. He does a good job.
For all your home improvement needs, call Todd at 717-331-4974, or maybe run into him at a track near you. He's known to be at Payoff Valley, and I've seen him fly in on his private jet to Hagerstown Speedway and get put in the VIP suite. He come down one week to see us, Will. He come down. He sponsors the Speedway, so he come down to check the races out. He come down, seen us and everything. And I was like, hey, man, you get some time. We got food down there by the truck. He disappeared. We didn't see him rest night. I ran into him. I said, Todd, I said, what happened to you? I said, we didn't see you rest night. He goes, man, they picked me up on a golf cart, took me up to the VIP section. He said, I was up there sitting in the air conditioning watching the races.
That's good for him.
Yeah. See what we got going here real quick. I see come out where Potomac is going to go to Saturdays now. So now we're going to have a bidding war, so to speak, on Winchester, Hagerstown, and Baps. Especially with the 358s. I don't know about some of the other divisions don't align. Their rules don't align. But and then Roaring Knob come out where they are contemplating going to Saturdays. Working with some other tracks around their area.
Well, Potomac almost has to, because the traffic down there is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, they said
if you live up here, you don't leave by 1 o'clock. You don't get there by 6. So Potomac was between a rock and a hard spot.
there was a lot of people got on there and said that thanked them because they said they have a horrible time getting there on Friday evenings.
Virginia closed, so all them people that are down around Virginia, they actually can get there now. And they just come through up 301. They don't have to go through D.C. to get there.
You never been to Potomac, have you?
Oh, a couple times.
Did you ever have paint on your trailer you didn't know where it come from?
Yes, I did.
I'll never forget my dad telling me that story. He said we rode to Potomac with Will and everybody. He says, and we got there to the track. He said, and there was paint down the side of the trailer, and nobody had any idea where it came from.
Someone robbed me somewhere going down the road. Not hard enough to move anything, but just enough to exchange paint colors.
Will said, Rubbin's racing. Did you see the big deal come out about the 410 Sprint Series here today? 8 tracks unite for $2 million purse. The PA Posse 410 Sprint Series, over $1.8 million in payouts, plus $200,000 point fund. Tracks include Williams Grove, Lincoln, Baps, Sillins Grove, Clinton County, Bridgeport, Bedford, Hagerstown, Grandview, and Payoff Valley. So that's going to be a big deal for, I thought they even said something like 47 races?
Something like that, yeah. It looks like a very good deal for local race, because, I just read on the internet that those right rear tires are going to cost $500.
I heard that too.
So that'll hurt a lot of the little guys. That point system will help that.
I think I'd run 2 left rears.
I don't think they'll go around the track very good that way.
Todd Ward says, hello, guys. It was a pleasure meeting you a few years back and you helping me with my Mustang.
Yep. You're welcome.
Yeah, he's always it's a Ford, so he always needs help with it.
Yeah. Come on now.
No, he just had it over at the house recently when he was talking to Cody there. Cody was telling me he was trying to burn the tires off in the parking lot and stuff. We're telling on Todd now.
Yeah, tell him Todd a little bit.
Anything else, hon?
I don't see anything.
I told you nobody likes me.
Hey, I'll tell
wait a
you
minute.
what.
There is one here I didn't get. Mark Huffman says, pretty soon Will be building a quarter midget for the grandbaby. Laugh out loud.
Already started.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to have to change the schedule or something, or buy hire drivers, because he's going to need somebody to drive all these trucks and trailers to the racetrack. There ain't enough wheels to go around. And I mean Will Rouse to go around, not wheels to go around. But
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do it. I remember, man, you and Alyssa, man, when she first got into that little mini late model, you guys really was everywhere.
Yeah, she's the only one that wanted Potomac. I never wanted Potomac. She has. She wanted Natural Bridge. So
that's something me and you have in common.
yeah, wanted Natural Bridge.
No,
Oh, never went in for
Never went into Hagerstown.
Oh, never won a Hagerstown. Won one time and got disqualified. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Eddie Grove disqualified me. I was too late.
I don't even know how I found that out. Just one day at Facebook.
Yeah.
And I put it on Facebook a few years ago. Somebody must have told me. And because Cody always gives me a hard time about never winning at Hagerstown. And I was like, heck, there's a lot of tracks I never won at. But I was like, you mean tell me Will Rowe never won at Hagerstown?
Nope. I won, but I get disqualified. And I also led up to the fourth turn twice. You got past on the fourth
That's
turn.
the hard ones.
That's the hard one. That hurt big time.
Rick Jones says, good to see you. Will, myself, and my brother had a great time with you racing over the years. Great show, fellow. Keep up the good work. And then Todd Ward says, easy now.
How you doing, Rick?
Well, I've known you for a good many years, sure, not as long as what a lot of people have. And you was sort of, I guess you'd say, one of my mentors, and I appreciate everything that you and Daryl did for me. You did a lot for me. Put up with a lot. Back then, I was young and dumb and didn't realize what exactly you guys was doing for me. Not that I didn't appreciate it, but you don't realize till later how much is involved and what people's really doing for you. And you look back and you say, man, I should have showed more appreciation. I mean, even though you did, you feel like I'm sure you've been there, Will, with maybe somebody that lets you run their car or somebody got you an engine or something.
Yep.
You know, in the moment, you was saying thank you and appreciating everything. But then 20 years later, you're like, man, I should have did more for that person or something like that, you know.
I would say probably up until my uncle passed away. He pretty much took care of everything. So after that, you get to thinking, wow, how much did he really help me? I mean, with just the weekly stuff. Because I was young and I had other things to do too, you know what I mean? I didn't work 40 hours a week on the car back then. Like, he was always at the garage every night. He was there and he'd do this and he'd do that. He'd adjust the valves, welded something, straightened something out. You know what I mean?
This is Donnie.
This was Donnie.
We're gonna get to Donnie sometime, but Will, I don't think even though you've been on the show, I don't think I've ever asked you how you got started. I seen pictures of the fastback Mustangs. Everybody's like, I can't believe he chopped the fastback Mustang up. I've seen the Mavericks, and I know you and your dad started. That's how you got started with your dad, wasn't it?
No.
I was thinking like you and your dad built a car.
No, my dad, the first time my dad really got involved with it was whenever he bought a Martz car from a guy in Wimber, Pennsylvania. And that was a 68 Mustang Fastback. And it was a Martz car, and it was probably 10 years old at the time. But for us, that was up to date. That was brand new stuff for us. And it was a good car. But anyhow, that was my dad really got involved with it. Now to go back further, my uncle, Donnie, my uncle George, Tex Myers, my goodness, I can't think of his first name. Anyhow, it was Jeff Robinson's dad, Glenn Robinson. They come over to the garage one night and they decided they was going to build a car. So they built a 55 Plymouth Savoy.
All these guys together.
All these guys, well, I'm not saying they all built it, but they were all there throwing their input in it. You know what I mean? But it was built for Aiden Buchanan. But Aiden drove it one time at Hagerstown, decided he didn't want to do it. And I didn't turn 16 till the next year, so I couldn't. Back then, you had to have your license to drive. You couldn't get on the track if you didn't have your license. So, and I guess what I always understood, if you lost your license and they found out, they would disqualify you. Yes.
Wow.
But anyway, so I turned, in 1971, I turned 16, and then I was able to drive.
Couldn't find no fake IDs back then, could you?
Well, I guess everybody could have fake ID, but you know. But we did it legitimate, and that's when I started driving. And I drove at St. Thomas. I think that was actually the last year that St. Thomas was open, 71 or 7. It might have been 2 years, 71 and 72.
And who actually owned the car?
Uncle Donnie. He owned the car.
Really?
Yeah, it was out of the junkyard. And just basically cut the whole inside out of it and put a slanted 6 225 in it. when it would blow up, we'd just take a patch and roll it over the block, put another rod in it, and go racing.
I should have known it was a Plymouth. I should have known Donnie was involved.
Yep. The first 3 years we had Plymouth. The first 2 years was a 55 Plymouth, and then this third year, he bought a car from somebody way out in the mountains in West Virginia. I have no idea, but it was a 57 Plymouth. Had the big wings on the back and all. Had a front. Matter of fact, there's a picture of it hitting the outside wall at Winchester. That was the night I graduated in 1972. Another guy drove it. He hit the end of the guardrail right past the flag stand because that's where he used to come in at Winchester. He hit that big post. Never even put a dent in the bumper. That's how good the bumper was. But
now, did Donnie own any cars before this, or was this his first?
This is his first going at race. I mean, before that, we always went to like Charlotte, Daytona. When we was younger, we traveled around to some of the races, Martinsville.
Because see, when I got to know you, Donnie just come back from
up north
racing upstate.
Yeah, that was a car that I built too, and a guy named John Burkhart drove it. Donnie didn't want to run late models up to that point. That semi-late deal was a pretty nice deal.
So I never knew you was with Donnie to begin with.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It all started out with Uncle Donnie. Yeah.
Is that right? Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the big force behind racing.
And he never had a car or nothing. Just decided to build a car.
Just decided to build a car one night. Yeah. And that's where the 55 came from. Was a 55 Plymouth Savoy.
Oh, it come from the year.
Yeah, it come from the year. Yep, 55. And they called it the Little Trooper because it was blue and gold. And that's what Keller, the Plymouth State Police cars were at that time. So they called it the Little Trooper. So that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
And it still hasn't ended.
It still hasn't. Yeah, there's no end in sight.
What was that? 54 years ago.
Yeah.
Last year was the first time I never drove on the racetrack.
So he was driving. I was 3 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old when he started driving race car. I guess. How old am I, Shirley?
How old are you, Mike?
I just had a birthday. I don't like to talk about it.
It's just a number. It's just a number.
I didn't care till I hit 55, and then I'm like, that's all the older I'm getting.
I just figured I'm not getting out of this life alive, so it doesn't matter how old I am.
You're probably in better shape now than what you was whenever you was, because back when you had the business and everything, I mean, you had a lot of pains and.
Well, I had a heart attack in 2002 from the business because I worked day and night.
Yeah.
Trying to pay the bills, which I still couldn't pay the bills. But yeah, it was.
Then you had your foot.
Had my foot operated, but I waited until I got old to do that. I should have had it done 30 years ago, but I didn't. I waited until I got Medicare.
Then we're not going to talk about the racing injuries.
Oh no, you don't need to know that.
So your dad decided to get involved.
He was involved a little bit, but this was the first car that he bought. In other words, he allowed me to do this rather than.
Say, how did your parents take it?
They knew this was inevitable because that's all I ever did was race bicycles and whatever I could find to go fast on. So yeah, they knew it was inevitable. My mom still goes to watch her granddaughter.
We got some stories about her too. We could tell, couldn't we?
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't do it because she's too good of a person. She's like my wife, goes to races and knows how to act, and occasionally.
I'm good.
Shirley's usually telling me to shut up and get in the truck. But I'm thankful for that because there's a lot of racers, Will, that unfortunately their significant other cause a lot of trouble.
Yes. Exactly,
and it was always nice to know that, my wife and your mother wasn't going to be doing anything,
Yeah, I can't even remember when, because the women weren't even allowed in the pits. I'm thinking till at least the mid-'80s.
I remember that.
They weren't even allowed in the pits. I mean, Hagerstown, I remember they used to get such big crowds that right before it started, the men could come into the pits because there was no more seats, and they would allow them to come into the pits and walk around. But the women weren't allowed in the pits for a lot of years, and I don't remember how long. But it was a long time.
I used to hate before I was 14. I had to sit up in the stands with the women. Yep. And man, I'm serious. When that day came, it was you just wouldn't believe how it was for kids when they turned 14, man. I mean, that was a big deal to get. You had to go through all this paperwork, get stuff notarized and signed, and then you finally was able to go in the pits.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal.
Yeah. So they had to sign for me at 16.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Moser.
Oh, is he on there?
Jim Bob's here. He says, loved helping Will.
I didn't think Jimmy Moser even used Facebook.
Well, when I'm responding to Jimmy, I said I heard that he loved riding with Will, even when Will would leave one road and end up on another suddenly.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to tell all them stories. I still tell Jimmy stories to this day. I'm telling you. We used to have a ball, and we'd work on the cars, and then the first part of the week, and then the last part of the week or the last part of the evenings, we would work on other stuff. But
Rick Singleton says, good show. I love those old stories. Oh, Will's got a lot of them, from what I hear.
Yeah, me and Rick could write a book.
you could write a book.
Yeah.
The stuff that you've been through, the stuff you've done, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I know we're getting ahead of things, but I mean, I always say if you can't fix it, it ain't broke.
Yeah, well.
Because I mean, you fixed stuff that people said was junk, and you've won with stuff that people said was junk that couldn't race no more.
You know, I just thought about something. When I used to go racing with Will, it would either rain or something would happen with the car that he wouldn't get to race the whole night.
That was
Here we are doing the show tonight, and it's raining.
It's raining, yeah.
You didn't have to ride in the back of that ambulance with
that was miserable.
with Ernie Moe.
That was miserable.
Try riding to Cumberland with no windows with Ernie Moe. No, Ernie was a good guy. Just, you know.
Danny Hallbaker says hi, Will.
Hello, Danny.
But did you ever want to give up? I've never seen no give up in you. That's why I wonder.
No, this is all I've ever, this is the only thing I do. I don't do anything else. I mean.
Well, you can't. I mean.
No, I don't. I have no other interests, any hobbies. The only thing I would enjoy other than this is traveling a little bit. And my wife and I had planned a couple trips, and we're going to go again next summer somewhere. We haven't decided exactly the trip yet, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be west, just for a week or so.
Colorado.
Huh? Colorado, South Dakota, Wyoming. We're sort of thinking in that area. So.
Well, we got a question here for you, Will.
Okay.
Tyler Koenig.
Oh boy.
He says, Will, if you could fix one thing in the modified class to help reduce costs, what would it be?
That's a very good question, Tyler. It's not really. Advancements in racing is its worst, and racers are their own worst enemies because they keep wanting to go faster and faster. And the only way you can keep going faster and faster is by spending money. I personally think a lot of the motor issues is because of the aerodynamics on the car. The late models are completely out of hand on air. The modifieds are getting there. If I was making rules in modifieds to help slow things down, I would shorten the nose up, the distance that's allowed from the center of the wheel out. I would make the bodies perfectly square and perfectly level. If they had any taper in them at all, you couldn't do that. I mean, you just keep it as flat and as low as possible to try to keep as much air out of the car as possible. But that's just me. I don't think you'll ever be able to save any money because everybody wants to go faster.
Yeah, I miss the old days. I mean, you know,
when it was affordable?
Well, I mean, Will had cars that wasn't, how do I say this? They might have been a good car at one time, but I mean, Will, you know, like anything, you run it till
it don't go anymore.
It don't go anymore.
Yeah. And then I would get it and work on it.
Yeah. And I mean, you had motors that was old semi-late motors from the old semi-lates when they ran them at Winchester and Bedford.
The motor that I have right now is actually, other than the heads, are actually semi-late stuff that I ran back then.
Really?
Yeah. That's the same design. Now, I think I've replaced the rods and the pistons, but we're still same cubic inch, same design.
Is that right?
Yeah. The crank got a big gash in it, but it still works good.
But it was amazing that you guys could go anywhere and compete anywhere
Yeah, Daryl and I, we could go to Challenger. We could go to Tyler County. We could go to I don't even remember where all, Elkins. Wherever we went, we were very competitive wherever we went. We were good. But that, well, I don't know how many, the modified that I built, I think I won 40 races with that car.
Oh,
or 30
yeah.
or 40 anyway. But, and that was whenever I was building everything ourselves. And we were using 377 engines at that time. But like I said, everybody wants to keep going faster. I'm not saying that we weren't fast back then, but we're probably a good 3 seconds faster now than what we were back at that time.
Well, like whenever the modifieds come to a track, you could always tell the difference. They come out of the corner carrying the front wheel.
Yeah.
And like the old days,
Yeah.
like guys would show up with 440 cubic inch steel motors, and like it was like, well, it's going to be rough to catch them in the heat race, but after that,
Yeah, it was easy to get.
they're going to be
there,
struggling.
Yep.
And it's like that was the level playing field, and everybody was like, why won't these things pick up locally? Because they're such a great class. They're economic going on. And well, that's back when the E was economic. Now it's expensive.
Yeah,
but,
exactly right. Yeah.
But it's a shame.
Now it's called even A-mods. They don't even call them E-mods
Yeah.
anymore.
But it is a shame to see what has happened with the bodies and the chassis. And I mean, I understand everything evolves.
Yeah.
But the old days of the modifieds, whenever you guys first got them, when you guys first brought them to this area, like people might not have like understood them or maybe liked them because they wasn't full like fender cars,
Right.
but they was one of the best classes you could get in as far as
It depends on where you get to. It just seems like this area, and I think a lot of it's a sprint car and late model area car, that they're paying. I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyway. But they're paying us basically a street stock purse week in and week out.
yeah.
And the people don't really realize how much money these cars cost anymore. Basically, you can own, for what a brand new modified is right now, you can almost build a late model, less motor. But
I know the chassis have really come
and the
up in
sprint cars
price.
are the opposite way. They're the cheapest car to build.
And we're not even going to talk about, I shouldn't say this either. There's things that we shouldn't say, but it's the truth. I could not believe, and we have a good friend that has one, the poor 305 guys, sprint guys.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe they can even show up at a racetrack for what they run for.
They don't race for very much, that's for sure.
It was like $300.
Yeah,
And it's like they get 60 of them.
yeah. I got one sitting in my garage. They just texted me. He was going to work on it on Friday, so.
And I mean, they're good quality cars. They're
Yeah.
good cars. They put on a good show. It's just, when I heard that, I was like, what?
They actually have picked their purses up a little bit.
Have they?
Yeah, but it's like we Alyssa drove Doug Paxton's at Bedford, the last race of the year up there, and I think there was 40 cars for that race. There was a bunch of cars to run for there, so I think she ran 8th, I think, with it. So we were pretty happy with that.
When I was talking to Dusty and Al about the engines,
Right.
how they're like spec engines and they're stamped in
Yeah.
the runners and stuff so people can't cheat them up and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it seemed like a good class, but coming from a guy that raced for $100 in a 4-cylinder,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
Right.
No matter how economical a 305 sprint car was, I just could not believe that they were racing for.
All the bolt-on parts are still the same price as a
Yeah.
410.
Yeah.
It's the same way with
Same with the
The
modified.
same way the modifieds. The rears cost the same amount. The suspension costs the same
Yeah.
amount. Bird cages, all this.
I guess they
there's
pay
a little
whatever-
difference in the shocks. The shocks are a lot cheaper because we have to run a steel non-adjustable shock, but still they're, a couple $100 a piece. So
I remember when you ran half-a-leafs. I never knew what a half-a-leaf was. I mean, I knew what a half-a-leaf is, but I never seen it before until Will did it. And it was like, this guy's going out in the junk pile, getting leaf springs, old used leaf springs, cutting them in half, and that's what's holding his rear in his car. And he's whooping people with this stuff. I'm like, what
that's,
the heck?
that's what that Maverick had on.
Huh?
That's what that Maverick had. It was half leaf.
Did it?
Yeah.
See, I don't remember a lot of that stuff back
Yeah,
then.
and they laughed at that car when I built it over the winter.
I just never even heard of such a thing. I was like, what do you mean? And I mean, I had to learn, like, look at the thing to figure out. I'm still not the best on suspensions and stuff, but it's like, it was wild to see
Yeah, I was.
that work.
People would throw their leaf springs and monoleafs because it was a big thing back at that time. They'd throw the monoleafs away. Well, I'd gather them up, cut half of them off, and just run the one to the front. And I didn't run anything to the back, just the front. And they didn't wear out as fast. It was like a torque arm.
Yeah.
They flexed like a torque
That
arm.
car worked good. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was. And I mean, those guys would some of the guys would roll in with those wooden blocks between the axles and the frames with the back end so the springs wouldn't wear out. And I thought, well, they're saving their springs and Will's cutting his in half.
That's true.
Got a Ray Myers here. He says, "Hi, Will. Lots of memories at Miller's Garage."
Yep. Hi, Ray.
And then we got Tyler Koenig again. He said, "Square-bodied late models of the late '80s."
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you ever watch any of the races that people put on YouTube and stuff, of just like, I'm just going to say Hagerstown Speedway because that's the ones I've seen.
Right. There's a lot of them.
And like the cars are flat.
Yeah.
And when they go in the corner, they actually look like everybody's just going to follow a leader.
Right.
But like coming out of the corner, like it's amazing. Like they just pass each other.
Yeah.
Like they don't look like it like a car does nowadays.
The driver, there was more driver input in the car then. I mean, there's still driver input. Don't get me wrong, but you had to be very finesseful a lot of times to get through the corners with that, which helped out. You didn't need the motor, you didn't need the tires, you didn't. I mean, back then. But then again, like I said, everybody wants to go faster. And
Wouldn't it be great to go back to that though? Like Tyler's saying, those races were some of the best races.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else too. Right now, watching some of these semi-late races like they got at Bedford and Hagerstown and Winchester, the semi-late races right now are very, very good. But when I was running late, when I first started racing late models, these guys would have been way above everybody else, just because.
Oh
of the
yeah,
stock.
yeah. Did you see some of them new cars being built? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like down south and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they're amazing craftsmen. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's amazing. Nobody builds a car to be ugly or not be a beautiful car.
Yeah.
But some of these guys that's building these cars nowadays, the craftsmanship is unbelievable.
Right.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The designs they come up with and everything.
Joel up at Close Racing, they just
Oh.
had a car at the trade show in Syracuse. I think it was Syracuse. That car is absolutely beautiful. That is one.
Was it blue?
It
Blue
was
frame?
blue.
Yeah,
Blue-
that thing was
blue
beautiful.
Frame, blue body, blue deck. It was bead rolls the whole way down.
Everything
through
they
the
do
car.
is beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful car, beautiful workmanship. Everything I've seen come out of there is beautiful.
Remember the good old days of bead rolling?
Oh yeah, yeah. Handling 2 big blocks of wood to try to keep it straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to do that for hours and hours on all the interior panels. And now everybody just puts a 90 on the end of them and
Just go.
yeah.
Yep.
John Belungi says, "Hello, gang."
Hey, John.
Hey John.
Brian Jones says, "Hello, everyone. Will is a great guy."
Hey Brian.
And then Doug Schatzer says, "Is there a story about the sanding pots at Pennsburg?"
Oh, jeez.
Don't know
I was
anything about that. I slept through that.
I was actually going to put that picture on track. It's not the real picture,
Yeah.
but there's a picture of a bunch of porta johns on
Okay,
fire.
Yeah.
But what a funny story is, I only ever been to Pennsbar one time in my life, and it was that weekend.
Okay.
And
I
we-
woke up and I was getting hot
And,
there was
and you had the orange van,
lollipop van.
and it poured down raining. And me being a young kid, I'd never seen nothing like it. We walked for like 3 miles. Some guy said, like, we had a van or something. And I just remember some guys like, give me $5, you can park anywhere you want in my yard. And people just burying the stuff to the
Yeah,
axles.
clear into the axle to get pulled out afterwards. That guy that farmer down there on the corner, he made a lot of money that weekend.
Yeah. And then we walked and walked and walked and walked. And the first thing you see, Shirley, the first thing you see is this fence with beer cans as high as the fence. And I don't know how wide it was, but I mean, they was piled up. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And they're like, well, everything was going good till the band quit playing at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
They said, then they called the police and they rolled the police car over. And that's all the beer cans they throwed there.
Yeah. Yeah, it started to rain. The band wanted to quit
Yeah.
because of electric. They wanted to quit because it started to rain. So they wouldn't let them quit. They wouldn't let them off the trailer. They called the cops. The cops came in and they almost rolled that guy, broke their antennas. I don't know. There was probably 10,000 people there. The coffee were fooling around. They just left.
I know we didn't get on here to talk. We got on here to talk about Will's racing career, but it's funny. It's like I'll never forget that day, Shirley. Like we're standing there in the pits. I'm a young kid, you know. Dad, I think him and Mick Creek went to see.
Yep.
They was standing in Tom Myers's had a box truck stay
Yep.
out of the ring,
Yep.
and you hear people cheering. You're like, what the heck is people doing in the rain cheering? Here they was cheering every time somebody fell off a cooler. They was riding coolers down that hill
Downhill in the mud.
in the mud.
Yep. And then they got to pulling around the racetrack
Yeah, on a four-wheeler. But Will, one thing I remember about that is you'd never been to a race that had that much rain that they raced.
Yeah, well, that track was pretty much asphalt. I mean, it was a real hard racetrack. You couldn't get through the pits, but you could race.
I mean, surely there was mud in the pits. They had to tow everybody out of the pits.
They were even towing the race cars out to the track.
Yeah, and believe it or not, like around here, not that I'm saying it ain't the way to do things, but after a while you get rain, you're like, you know what? Let's just freaking go home because ain't nothing good going to come out of this. Mm-hmm. No, there wasn't no going home.
Nope.
They stayed there, and people stayed there, and they raced.
Well, you had almost 200 cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
NASCAR guys, somebody was there, wasn't it?
Kelly Yarborough was there one year. Bobby Allison was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the guys, but there was different drivers that came in and drove for different people. Yeah.
I never forgot that.
Doug Schatzer says Will's an amazing guy. And he said,
I sent him $1 later.
he said he loved the wedge cars. And Rusty Presley says legend. And Michael Warnfeld says hello, Willie.
Hello, Mike. Leslie.
Rusty Presley, all around great guy. Sheila Calvin Fogel.
Forsythe.
Or Forsythe, I'm
Forsythe.
sorry.
Yeah.
Forsythe. Hi, Mike and Will. Great show tonight.
Thank you.
That's
Michael Warnfeld says, I remember Will putting the steering
Quickener.
Quickener.
well, it went on me.
Yeah.
It
Steering
shoots up.
in my first race car.
Yeah.
Ed Neiniger says, love hearing from old timers. He's calling you an old timer, Will.
Come on now. I'm only 27.
Brian Jones says, race down the hill on the coolers. That was wild.
Yeah, it was.
And then
It was.
Rick Holson says, got a lot of free beer at the bottom of the hill.
Well, I mean, I know Will's got a lot of stories, but I mean, I just have a few that's in my mind that just tells you what kind of amazing guy he is. I mean, the first time I ever seen you make a drive shaft.
He was a MacGyver.
He's a MacGyver, that's right.
I mean, Will took a drive shaft and cut it in two and laid it in a piece of angle iron, the length he needed it, and welded it back together. And if I remember correctly, me and a few other people in the shop was like, that is never going to work. Teeth's going to vibrate out of your mouth and everything else. And you know what?
Never did.
He ran that drive shaft. And that's the first time I ever seen anybody do that.
I never cut the end off that had the weight on it. That's the only thing you have to remember. The thing was factory balanced because it had a weight on it. You always cut the opposite end off, whatever length you wanted. And as long as it was square, it was good. If it was unsquare, it was bad.
Wonder if the angle's not square.
It didn't. I don't. I don't even know why I used the angle. I couldn't.
I'm
use
pretty
the
sure you
angle
had a
after
piece of
while.
angle,
Yeah.
laid it in like a V.
I think it was laid in the middle of the driveline, so it kept it the same height the whole way along. I think that's what it was. It didn't hold it at the universals. It only held it in the middle, just to keep it level.
Now, did somebody ever teach you all this stuff, Will, or is this just a way that you had to do things to keep on the track?
That's basically, I had to learn that to do that ourselves because I couldn't buy parts. If I couldn't get it off of Jerry Free's junkyard or Denny Bone Breaks junk pal or Jeff Robson's junk pal, I had to make it. So that's just how we race.
I remember one night we stayed in the shop till, and I'm just saying these stories so people know what kind of person you are. It's never give up attitude. But I remember me, you, and Al Moser, I think it was just us three, like 2 a.m, and we had like 6 fuel pumps. And Al was taking all these fuel pumps apart to build one, so I think you could go to Winchester
Yep.
the next night.
I think I was leading the points down there that year, so we had to get something fixed up for the race the next day. Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff I've seen that, like, I don't think people realize is what lengths people go to when they have to.
And a lot of that stuff back in that time, you really didn't buy it, and you couldn't. A lot of parts places didn't sell what you needed. I mean, because this was all innovative stuff back in that time. You didn't have a speed shop. I mean, you had a speed shop in Hanover, and Chuck Kleise's dad, he had a speed shop, but basically there wasn't anything around here. You had to either build it or drive for 2.5 hours to get something. So we just learned how to do a lot of this stuff on our own.
And before we get to the racing stories, it wouldn't be a show, Shirley, unless we talk about the trip out to, was it Ohio? You, Jimmy, and Al with the dually and the trailer?
Yeah. We raced at...
and the alternator went out.
We raced at Raceway 7 on Friday night, I think, and then we went to State Line Speedway on Saturday night, and then we went to Erie's on Sunday night. And we were coming back down, and right after we got off of 79, I think it is, back onto the turnpike. And right after we got on the turnpike, the lights start going dim. Oh, man, you start hearing this squealing going on. So we pulled off alongside the road, and Almo and Jimmy took a Makita drill part, ground the bearing down so it fit in the alternator. While they were doing that, I took the alternator off. Almo figured out how to do this with a Makita drill bearing. We put it in the alternator. The alternator still didn't work, but the bearing was in there enough that it would run.
Kept the bell
so
on.
We could run the water pump and the power steering pump and all that stuff. Well, then we started the generator in the trailer.
Yeah, but now something happened to the water pump pulley too.
Well, now that was a different trip. But yeah,
Was it a different trip?
Yeah, it was a different trip. The
Okay.
same truck. But yeah, that deal, we took an extension cord, hooked it onto the battery or the generator in the trailer, and then run it up alongside the truck, hooked it onto the battery. Then we ran another extension cord up underneath the hood with a battery charger, and we could go about 15 miles, and we'd have to stop because the lights would start getting dim again.
I put gas in the generator.
Well, we never had to put gas in the generator. That's one thing we didn't have to do. But yeah, and by the time we got to Breezewood, the sun was coming up. We could turn the lights off and came the rest of the way home.
I was actually at the shop when you guys got there,
Yeah.
and the sight, Shirley, of this truck and trailer coming in the lane, and you hear this generator running, and like we didn't know none of this. We didn't know what back then.
There was no cell phone.
No cell phones.
No.
We had no idea.
Yeah.
And they come pulling in, and we hear this generator running, and see these extension cords going over the truck and cab and under the hood, and we're like, what the heck are they doing? And the doors come flying open. Jimmy comes out with a big smile on his face, and then they start telling us about they took a Makita drill and took the bearing out of it, put it in the alternator, and I'm just like, what?
Got to do something. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. We were coming home one way or another.
The carb cap on the water pump pulley, that was right there was.
Yeah, where were we going that time?
Whoever would think of that with a serpentine belt? You have a tensioner that there's only so much adjustment
Right.
on the belt,
Right.
and somehow Al and Jimmy figured out.
Well, Jimmy was the only one along with us that time.
Okay, well,
Jimmy and I did that deal. Yeah.
okay, well, you guys figured out somehow that one of them aluminum carb caps that you put on your carburetor when you wash your race car to keep the water out. They figured out that they could drill it out, the 4 bolts, and maybe even the center. I don't know.
Bolt, yep.
The center bolt.
Yeah.
I don't know how you had the right size drill bit.
I carry all that crap because I never know what's going to happen. But I had all kinds of. I got drill bit. I got everything. But anyway, we just took the piece that was broke off of the water pump, laid it on top of that.
Okay, yeah.
On top of the
And
carb
marked
cap,
it.
and
Yeah.
just drilled it because the center hole was already there for the carb.
Yeah.
So we knew exactly where the center was. So then we put that on. We could get a belt. It broke down. We were just coming, I forget where it was, coming into Pittsburgh someplace, and we actually drifted right into the GM dealership. They had a fan belt, but they didn't have a pulley. So we sat out in the parking lot and we thought, well, this is the right size. We can make this out of that.
Whatever made you think of a carb cap?
I think it was just laying there on the bench because we'd washed the car. and it was laying on the bench, and we took the pulley and we laid it down and said, well, there it is. We can figure that out. So we just drilled the holes in
And
there.
that thing could have stayed on there for years. When you popped the hood,
That was-
it looked like it was.
It was made for there.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it was I bought a new.
You needed the worst race car.
No, I bought a new pump or pulley for it, and in about 3 weeks that one broke. So I already had to carry, and I carried a spare belt at that time, so we had everything we needed.
He went the worst race car show and got a bunch of water in the carburetor because the hose was.
Oh, we taped the whole show.
I know. And then we got to go. People love these stories, though, Will. I heard a story. I think Dad was with you. I can't remember. I don't know how I heard it. I wasn't with you. That supposedly a guardrail has the same thread lug nuts that your trailer took.
Something I can't remember exactly. Yeah, it was.
I heard that.
That was an open trailer, and the hub. I think the hub studs broke. So we took the nuts and a bolt off of the guardrail. We parked along the interstate.
Guardrail.
Yeah, and we took the bolt out of it because it went clear to. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the whole.
I just
but
remember-
we used that bolt and nut to keep the wheel.
I just
on.
remember Dad saying they broke down or we broke down, or it was just a story. I don't know who all was involved. And he's like, they took the bolt nut and bolt off. They took the guardrail apart along the interstate and bolted their wheel back on with it.
Yep, that's true. And one time we were going to Chillicothe, Ohio with the modified, the wheel bearings went out of the front axle on my open trailer. So we took the tire off, took a bottle jacked the axle up as high as we could get it, wrapped a chain around it, let it down on the chain, put a safety bolt through it so that it wouldn't unhook itself going down the road, and went the whole way to Chillicothe, Ohio, and the whole way back on 3 wheels.
Wasn't nothing stopping him.
We were going racing, man.
And I've heard of dumping all the gas out of the generator
That's a fact. We run the gas more than once.
and putting it in the truck so he can get home.
Yep.
There wasn't no gas in the truck.
And the worst, I really caught heck over that from my mother because my wife was 9 months pregnant when I did that.
Really?
We were coming over for Hagerstown.
And she's like, you might have to be like on call.
Exactly.
They'd have been over the, hey, can you imagine that down like Winchester over to, Will Rowe to the office. Your wife's in labor.
Well, actually, that night when we ran out of gas, we stayed at the shop and worked. And till I got home, I can't remember exactly what it was, but anyhow, till I got home, she said it's time to go to the hospital. Because she rode home with us in the van. So anyway, it's time to go to the hospital. I said, I'm all greasy. I got to take a shower. So I took a shower. Then I had to stop and get a soda. And then I had to stop and get a pack of cigarettes because I had cigarettes.
Oh, yeah,
She was really fired up.
Mountain
by the time
Dew
we got to the hospital.
Mountain Dew and cigarettes. Now, Will, somebody's telling a lie here, Will.
Okay.
Because you just said your wife was pregnant
Yeah. She was in the van with us.
and you was drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Why not?
And I always heard Mountain Dew is what...
Well, yeah, okay. And I got a story for that, too. I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
Mountain Dew is his birth control, Shirley.
Yes, that I always heard that, but I don't know if that's true or not. But anyhow,
You don't know if it's true or not.
through our job, we got stationed in South Carolina, or Myrtle Beach, and they didn't have Mountain Dew down there. All they had was Coke and Coke products, Pepsi products, but no Mountain Dew. So she got pregnant there. But I still blame it on Lee Majors because he was in the motel where we were staying at. They were filming a movie there. I still blame.
You
it
think
on
she
him.
snuck out middle of the night, went and seen Lee Majors?
All I can tell you is my oldest daughter, one time we opened the TV guide, we still had TV guides, said, Daddy. And it was Lee Majors' picture,
Daddy.
not mine.
Daddy.
And that's a true story.
Speaking of daughters, Will's daughter Alyssa's on here, and she says he has a lot of stories about truck problems.
Yes, I do. A lot of them.
Probably not since she come along, though.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I would think
Coming back from Bedford
I would
last
think
time.
she would tighten that ship up.
Oh, I fixed it this last time. We were blowing the turbo hose off,
We did that.
and it was 3 times or 4 times coming home from Bedford the last time we raced up there. It was a mess. So I come out and talked to Kyle Lee for a while. He said, that's the downfall of them things. He said, the new tubes have a piece of bracket on there where you bolt it onto the alternator mount so that it can't move. Well, me being cheap, I come up with an idea using a 4-inch muffler clamp and a flat piece of steel And I clamped that thing, and it can't move now. It's not good. But we've had, that thing has done.
Is this 6-0?
6-0.
Yep. The same thing happened to us.
6-0s and 7-3s. Cal says that's the bad part about him. He said, do that.
We was heading to Ohio, and anybody goes to Ohio, first time I ever been there, I have never seen mountains so much in my life. And they're all gigantic.
Yeah.
And we're at the bottom of the mountain with a 38-foot enclosed trailer, and I hear this pop.
Yeah.
And we're at the bottom of the mountain. Nowhere to pull off.
Yeah. You're not going up the hill.
And we had to get started on that bottom of that hill.
Yeah.
And then it like Will said, it come off 2 or 3 times. So I started coming up with ideas. We thought about going to the dollar store, getting some hairspray. We didn't do that.
That didn't work.
We
I tried that.
we took brake clean. I brake cleaned the inside to where it got real sticky.
Yep.
And I went to the auto parts once we got to Ohio, and I ordered a new boot.
Yeah.
And it come in the next day. And Will, that old boot is still on. It never come off ever after that. It went off 3 times on the way there. And I mean, there was no emergency. I mean, like we was over against the guardrail, and I mean, those trucks come by, and they was shaking that truck and trailer. Yeah. And then for you to go from a dead stop up that mountain, it was like a 40-mile-an-hour run the guts out of the thing because of being at a dead stop.
Right, yeah.
But I thought we was the only person that happened to.
Oh, no. It happened coming back from Elkins. It happened coming back from Bedford. It happened going to Bedford. It happened going to Path Valley. I was beside myself.
Was it the top one?
Actually, the first 3 times it was the bottom one. And
ours was the top one.
I bought new hoses, new clamps, and everything for down there. Never had any trouble with the top one, so I never did anything with that.
We was glad it was top because it was easy to get to.
It's a lot hotter up there, though.
I know, but it was easy to put clamps on and tighten them up. We just kept tightening the clamp more and more every time we stopped. But anyway,
Tyler Koenig, he says, didn't your last win at Bedford include getting there late because of truck trouble?
Same problem, hose blowed off. Yep, same thing. Yes, that's correct.
And then Brian Jones says, good show, great stories. And then your daughter's back on here, and she says, he also never has gas, no gas in his car, lawnmower, power washer. I believe you, Alyssa.
I'll tell you, ain't nothing any more frustrating than being out on a hot day and you get your race car a quarter of the way washed, and the generator starts pulsating and runs out, and there's no gas, and you're like, holy crap.
Get him a gas gift card, Alyssa, for Christmas.
And I'm not saying any of this stuff to embarrass Will. I don't think Will gets embarrassed by it.
No, heck no. This has all been fun.
But I rode with him down to the Winchester 200, and Shirley, you ought have seen them ladies' faces in the booth. He paid with change out of the soda.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
I did.
he flopped them bags down. They said, we ain't counting it. We trust you.
That's true. We never counted it. They just put it down on the floor.
But everybody put, back then it was 50 cents or something for a soda, whatever it was.
That's what it was.
And all these months and years of people throwing these every time they got a soda out of his refrigerator. Well, next thing you know, here Will is walking up to the booth at Winchester to run the Winchester 200, and he's got these baggies with the change in it. And that's how you got in the race. Hey, it all spends the same way.
And I'll tell you a story about why I did that, too. It wasn't that I didn't have money in my pocket. The week before that, they didn't pay me tow money. They said they don't pay tow money anymore. Okay. Saw that. So I just went and paid the change that was in the refrigerator. That's what I did. And that made me mad because I never raced at a track where we never got at least tow money. Because I can remember many times coming home from Lincoln, you just had enough gas to get to Lincoln and enough money to get into the pits. And even if you didn't qualify, you were going to get $20. Well, the gas station was right down the road, so you could get enough gas to get home with $20
and now,
money.
One of the reasons later on in your career you opened up your own business.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons that you traveled was you didn't really want to race with anybody that you were selling parts and stuff to.
Right. Yeah.
But also, wasn't it that the pay was better?
The pay was better
at these places.
The series that we ran with that. Well, with the late model deal, I ran with the Max series. The point money was really, really good. The weekly money was better than pretty much everywhere around here. and I could pretty much pay for the extra gas to go that far, and that's why we started traveling. The same way with the modifieds. When I first went out on the road with the modifieds, there wasn't very many tracks around here that ran them, so if we wanted to run them, we basically had to travel somewhere. So I got hooked up with AMRA, and if you were in the top 10 in points, you got a pretty good point money at the end of the year. And if you went to the banquet, it didn't matter if you were 35th in the banquet. If you had a banquet ticket, they had contingencies. Matt Cosner, he won welder. We won wheels, transmissions. There's all kinds of contingencies that series had for the racers that actually made it worth going to a banquet and having a good time. You work so hard all summer long to do good in the points, and they had a really nice series. I don't know whatever happened to it, but when one guy retired from it, it disappeared after that. It was hard. He was a good guy. He was a good guy to go out and sell himself in the series because it was good at that time to get these contingencies from these different companies. The next guy that took it over was a heck of a nice guy, but he wasn't a very good salesman, which even be a race car driver today, you've got to be a salesman to sell yourself.
But I don't think some of these people running races realize what that stuff means to a racer. I mean, most of us have been there where you enter a big race, you're the underdog in the race. Mm-hmm. You either qualify and maybe run half decent mid pack, or you don't even qualify. And like it was a big deal the first time we ever done that. Like they walked over like, you get a free pack of tear-offs, and you get this much off a set of headers, and this much. I mean, like we didn't plan on buying a set of headers, but like just the fact that you got your pay plus you got like.
Well, and that's a good thing about Alan Saggy. He does a good job of promoting his guys' race, and they give out a lot of stuff, not just the guy that wins, but also people that are just there participating in it to put on a show for the fans, which is very nice. I know Lincoln, when they had the Thunder Cars, when the Thunder Cars was big up there, and I was in business at that time.
That was a very big class.
That was a very big class, and once a year, right at the end of the year, they had a trailer full of parts that they gave away at the last race for everybody that was participating in the race, whether they won, whether they were last, whether they didn't even qualify. They give contingency prizes, and the trophies. I got trophies. My goodness, I got trophies. Mrs. got trophies. My wife keeps saying when she moves out, she's got to take them along with her. Guess what? They're still there.
You like trophies, Will?
I do like trophies.
I wish they'd have gave us them big checks.
Well,
not the big ones, but the
right. That would have been nice too.
I like it, but I just like the fact that you can always walk in the shop and you can just look at it. I mean, even if it was something Alyssa won, or you won, or whoever, right. you walk in 20 years from now and look up at it one day when and say, I remember that night we did this or we did that. We overcame this. Yeah. I just think that's what's pretty cool about them little checks they give out. That is nice about the checks.
That is really nice about the checks. I like the trophies. Just like when I won the Harley night at Winchester, you got this beautiful Eagle trophy. I mean,
I thought it was for the Harley women.
Well, there was two. But anyway,
Will always said this brings us to this point. Will always said he's a lover, not a fighter.
That's a fact.
He said, you guys go ahead and fight amongst each other. He said, I'll be over here comforting the women.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
That's what he always said anytime there was a fight.
I told Tommy that down at his radio show one night, and I thought he was going to fall off the chair.
Yeah. I'm giving some of your secrets away, but I'm trying to make sure we hit on them.
Yeah, now everybody will watch their wife instead of fight, huh?
Yeah, now somebody get mad at somebody.
You're liable to go home if your wife's listening. You're liable to clobber you.
She's not listening.
His wife knows that he's just joking.
Yeah.
But next time there's somebody gets mad on the racetrack, surely they'll be like, I'm going to go down after that. Well, I'll stay here with my wife. Before we get any...
Well, I do got a question for
Okay,
Will.
Go ahead.
Oh, Alyssa says the cat's meow, apparently.
Yeah, cat's meow. That's another story.
I never heard that one, I don't think.
When Curtis passed away, we were at the viewing, and Curtis's sister, she's nice. She's funny. She's hilarious. Anyway, when we was in school, she said, Will was the cat's meow because he had the hottest little car and his long blonde hair. I was the cat's meows. Oh, listen.
I'm glad out there told that.
So Lisa brings that up all the time now.
Yeah. She probably likes hearing those stories
Oh
about
yeah,
Daddy.
she likes hearing stories. Yeah.
So she does.
Yeah.
I'm
We got
gonna-
lots
And
of
you
stories
two
about
have
her
such,
too.
for father and daughter, you two really have such a great relationship with the racing.
Yep.
And I don't know how, if you all ever disagree at the races and how that turns out.
At the beginning, it was nice for her. It was good for her to have somebody with a little bit of knowledge on where to race on the racetrack, the groove to run, what you can do to change. But some of the new stuff that she has it figured out better than I do, the chassis setups now. I mean, I can tell her what the car looks like, and then she can make a change on the car, and it does
It
what she
works.
wants to do. I mean, she learns
good.
she learns the technology better than an old man. An old man's still set in his ways, you know. I'm still in the half leaf days.
You mean tell me you can tell what the car looks like?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, Will, I get in trouble all the time. Every time I tell Cody what the car looks like, he gives me that look like, hey, stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, I'm just telling you what the car looks like. He's like, well, it looks that way because it was tight because I had to turn it. And I'm just like, I'm just telling you what it looks like. Because I'll be like, that thing looks loose or something. And it'll be like, it ain't loose, it's tight. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to quit saying what it looks like. I don't even bother looking at it anymore.
Yeah. Now, I give her tips, but she figures it out from there.
Doug Schatzer says you could write a book, Will.
He could.
And then Sheila Calvin Forsythe says, we remember when Will helped stunt driver James Smith build a crash car for Hagerstown.
Yep.
And Tyler Koning says, wish I could help Will and Alyssa more next year. That's the plan, at least.
Thanks, Tyler. You do it a lot.
And I want to tell you something. You guys,
He can babysit.
yeah.
Tyler can babysit.
No, but one thing I can say about Will and Alyssa, and I'm not, I'm not disconcerting the sponsors they have or anything like that, but you all have went through a lot of trials and issues, and no matter what you guys went through, you always kept your heads up. You always looked at the positive and moved on to the next race. And
That's all you can do in life, actually.
I know, but it can overwhelm you very quickly.
Yes, it can. It will overwhelm you real quick. But we've tried to stay away from that. To do what we can do, and what we can't do, we don't do.
Well, you have an amazing mother that opened her home up to the racers that's come to your shop.
Yep.
She's
Pizza
fed 'em.
casserole.
Yep, she's fed them her famous pizza casserole.
Yep.
I know my guys, they just went nuts over that. But your mom, Betty, she is an amazing lady. Everything, I mean, I can remember her going and running and getting parts for you.
Oh yeah.
So,
She ran all over she had a tire vibration going to Chuck Gleiser's one day, and she stopped at J&S and seen Wayne, and she said to Wayne, she says, I don't know what I'm going to do. This thing's shaking terrible. He says, well, your tires don't look very good. You got any spares? No. Well, I guess if something happens, you just have to call somebody that cares.
Wayne told her that?
he was just messing with her.
Yeah, everybody messes with Betty.
My.
I'm not going to go into details. We used to joke with her about some of the old guys that come to the shop. We would joke about, middle of the night they're opening the window up, crawling in the window while we're not there and all. And she gets so frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
And she would just look at us. I'm not talking. I'm going to the house.
That's right.
And then you felt kind of bad because you was ribbing
Just
her
teasing her.
Yeah.
But then you'd always tell whenever Will ever got upset. He never got upset very much, but the famous word was "Mom, go to the house."
Yep,
that was
it.
the famous word. That's all you. There wasn't no arguing. Wasn't nothing going. You just say, "Mom." She'd be saying something. We'll go, "Mom, go to the house."
I never smoked in front of her. So when it got to the point where I needed a cigarette and she was still there, I'd send her to the house.
I never knew that.
Yep. I never smoked a phone with her.
She is a wonderful lady, I'll tell you that.
So is your Aunt Linda.
Yep, both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Tony Krim used to come up every Tuesday night just to eat supper with me. He'd bring his dad up to the auction, the auto auction, and he'd come out to the farm if he needed parts, he'd get parts. But he always made sure it was at summertime so he could get dinner.
I mean, there's a lot of good people come up to that farm and helped and hung out.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that got to be one of them. And, you wish it could go back to those times, but I think racing is just in a different.
And if people didn't come there to work on the race car, they came there to fish in the pond.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Still got kids coming back there to fish all the time, yeah. All the neighbor kids,
Yeah.
their mothers come in and say, do you mind if they go fishing? No, go down there and fish them fish out of there. Because the fish, they're getting to be so many in there, they were starting to get smaller. Because everybody catch them and throw them back. So I told the neighbor boys, I said, just fish them out of there. When you give one, just take it. Whether you eat it or not, just take it out of there. So they get some 16-inch fish.
We used to fish a lot in there.
Yeah.
And then daggone horses would run up on you.
Yeah. Now there's no horses there now.
No wonder.
Just deer.
I almost ran across
Just
the water
deer?
like.
Yeah, just deer.
Can I come
Almost.
back there and hunt?
No. My sister's got the hunting rights, and she said, no hunting but me.
Yeah, she's taking care of all the
She
big
takes care
bucks.
of it.
Will's just feeding them.
I'll just feed them. I got a pear tree out back. They come up there during the night and they'll eat their pears off of that pear tree. They're all falling on the ground after this windstorm. They're all laying there, so they come up and eat the pears now.
Wow. Well, Will, I do have a question.
All right.
In your racing career, how many total wins do you have?
I never really sat and counted them, but I'm going to say somewhere between 80 and 90. And that's all different classes that I've run.
Yeah.
So I would say somewhere in that area. I never won at Hagerstown.
You sure, for a racer, you sure have endured a lot of hard times. I can remember some.
I never,
So-
I guess this is what I'd done. I mean, it was a sport
But
to
you
me.
never left to get you down.
No, it wasn't no sense in
And they
getting
with all the weight he
You
had
just
on his
kept digging.
shoulders. The wreck at Bedford. That
broke 8 vertebrae.
that really made me feel sorry for you, even though you didn't want people feeling. I mean, I couldn't imagine the kind of pain you was in. And he drives himself to the hospital.
I drove myself to the hospital. That was on Thursday night fair night. On Friday, I laid on the floor like the doctors told me to because they weren't going to do anything for it. They just told me it was broke. On Saturday, I drove to Winchester, got in the car before warm-ups. They lifted me in the car.
I remember that.
And I stopped on the back straightaway because we finished third that night. They lifted me out of the car, and Darryl took it across the scales.
I
because
remember that.
They had to get me out of the car.
He barely got finished with the race and they put him in the car, and I mean, he was still hurting from
the wreck on Thursday night. That was Saturday night because I was leading the points.
I'm surprised nobody talks about that wreck. That was one of the worst wrecks I've ever seen there.
It was bad. There actually is a video someplace, and I used to have it, but I smashed my phone.
Seen it years ago.
Yeah.
But like people don't talk about it, and it's like not that you want people to.
I did.
No, but I'm saying everybody usually talks about.
The worst part about it was I drove Chuck Brandon's car, and it was Chuck Brandon's car I destroyed that night. So
It broke everything. Everything.
And that was the car that he completely rebuilt and had it at the shows.
It broke the cam and everything in the motor.
It broke a lot of stuff in that thing.
I've never seen a car break so much.
The only thing that didn't ruin in the car was the seat and the fuel cell. Everything else was bad, and he rebuilt that whole car.
Did you have any idea when you got out that you was hurt?
No, all I remember is when I landed, I seen fire under the hood. So I figured it was a fuel pump knocked off. We were still running stock fuel pumps at that time. And I figured the fuel pump come off, and I didn't want to be sitting in there with it on fire. So I crawled out, and they said, sit still, sit still. I said, there's fire, I'm getting out. When I got out and my feet hit the ground, then I knew how bad I was hurt then.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought
so
maybe it was after the adrenaline wore off
Well,
later on.
as
But
soon as my feet hit the ground, I slid right down the side of the car and sat down. It was.
and you still didn't go to the hospital till you drove yourself.
No, I drove home. Yeah. My wife.
He dodged every pothole on the road on the way home.
I got home. I took a shower, and I said, "I'm going to the hospital. Joyce, you going to go along?" "No, you got yourself here. You can go there."
She said, "I seen you drive before. You're riding by yourself."
Exactly.
Peggy Kershner's on here. She says, glad you have Will on. And yes, Will does have a wonderful mother. She always treated everyone good. I remember her and her kindness when I was up at the garage. Great family.
I remember Cody spent hours on the trampoline there.
Yeah. Remember when,
I can remember
when the
Levi.
dog bit him in the head?
Levi the dog, yeah.
He
him-
threw
could
that
Levi-
handkerchief up,
Yeah.
and it came down. When it came down, it landed on Cody's head, and Levi bit him in the head.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, Linda felt bad about it,
And the blood
but
was running down his face.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
he had was it a flag?
No, it was a bandana.
It was a bandana, and Cody was throwing it up in the air, and Levi would jump up and get it,
Right.
and then I guess bring it to him or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Cody threw it up, and it went straight up, and when he went to bite it, I guess it landed at his head, or it was close to his head or something, and he bit him in the head,
I remember that.
and he started bleeding on. And Linda was like, she was really upset.
She was-
and everything. I
yeah,
said,
she
Linda,
was worked up.
I said the dog was just going after the.
They were playing.
Yeah, that Cody. I mean, Cody wasn't. Once he knew that he wasn't hurt, he was fine with it.
Yeah.
I said they was just playing. The dog was going after the handkerchief or whatever. But yeah, that was right back here at the back of the side bay there
On the
that you
back
can
side.
you can see from the road.
Oh, okay.
We was right there where where they meet there. The driveways meet.
Yeah.
But,
That garage back there could tell a lot of stories.
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
We come home after the races and put gas in frying pans and set different, because if the paint quit spraying, we didn't try to clean the nozzle or nothing. We put it in the paint, in that gas, and we light the gas and walk up in front of the garage, sit down and wait for the cans to go up in the air. And they go way up in the air,
Yeah.
sparks flying, and they land on you.
And there was like all these round spots.
Paint.
Looked like a bunch of UFOs landed. The funniest part was I didn't know Denny Bonebreak very well. And Denny come back to Will's shop to get parts. And me and Jimmy, and I don't know, I was probably involved as it was fire. And we had a 2-gallon water bottle or something, and we had racing alcohol in it, and we had a fuse in it, and we had like stuff taped on it, and we was just putting it out in the driveway to see if we could get it to blow up. And Denny walks by and stops and looks, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, just keep walking, nothing to see here.
Just stand back.
And he chuckled. He said, I don't know what the heck those pyromaniacs are doing out there, but
Oh yeah, fire and explosions. It was all fun.
now I'm gonna put you on the spot, Will.
Okay.
And your daughter's listening, so I don't feel sympathetic.
Okay.
I know how I feel, but I want to hear from your mouth. What your greatest accomplishment is? Is it in racing? Is it something that you did, or is it something that your daughter did?
I think more her than me. I really do. I mean, seeing her as competitive as she is with what we have, everybody thinks we got a lot. But
Oh,
we don't.
yeah.
But we really
You
do.
keep it looking nice and
Yeah,
stuff.
keep it looking nice, and we try to keep it up.
I was really glad to see
For
her,
her, she's-
knocking them off up there at Path Valley there at the end of the
There
year.
at the end of the year, this car is just. I made a couple changes over the winter. I went to Florida with Stremi. I learned some stuff that I didn't.
Did you?
know
I didn't know
before.
that.
Yeah, I went down there with them for 14 days. Actually, it was in Florida.
Wow, Shirley.
Wow.
So I learned some stuff there, and he's unbelievably good help. I mean, if I have a question at 11 o'clock at night, he'll answer the phone. If he's racing, he'll text me back or something, but he always gets back to me within a few minutes, unless he's, like I said, unless he's on the racetrack. or
That
something.
means a lot.
That means a lot. And anytime I have a stupid question, because he told me,
I never
one time,
knew
he said,
Will to
"You're
have
driving me,
questions."
old guy." He said, "You're still living in the 70s."
This is new because I've never known Will to have questions.
Well, no, this new stuff, it does confuse
is.
me a little bit.
It is very confusing.
Just like now, I used to scale everything and frame height measurements and all that stuff. Don't do that anymore. I mean, it's all smash and center to center measurements,
Yep.
and you go from there. So,
I tried to learn once and then I just gave up.
well, it's
I now have no ambition for it. I keep the motor running and
well. That's why I said
do the
Alyssa-
valves and
Alyssa's
everything,
got-
and it's just like
she's got a note. She got a notebook full of stuff. You know what I mean? And
that's good though.
yeah. Like I said, we've been a shock. We were running second up at Path Valley, and on the restart, we got spun around and got hit and run over. That was that big race for the ULMS race, and car was really good. But anyhow, it bent the right rear shock, and I took the shock up to have David look at it, and David looked at it. He said, "It's bent, and I don't have the parts to fix it." I said, "Well, that's okay. Do you have another shock?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I got one here that I've been testing with." I said, I'll take it. How much you want?" And I bought it from him, and he treated me right on it. But anyhow, I brought it home, and I put it on. Ever since that, with the few changes that I made in the front end, and that shock on that car has just been unbelievably good for that car. The car just loved the 2 changes that we made to that car. So, and it was even good before we changed the shock, but that shock really helped it.
Well, the problem is there's so much out there that it's real easy to lose your way
Oh yeah,
trying to get the latest and greatest.
yeah. And Daryl and I, we always have this conversation.
Oh, you don't have no conversation, no arguments or debates.
No, but anyway.
Y'all like brothers.
Yeah, basically we are. Anyway, we had this about old days and new days and this and that and up to date stuff. And yeah, well, I'm usually always about 2 years behind on everything that I've ever had in my life, 2 or 3 years behind. And just like these new fiber bodies, Daryl's big on putting the new fiber right side bodies on. And I said, "I'm not there yet, Daryl.
Not yet.
I'm not there yet.
I still got aluminum on the pile.
Still got aluminum on the pile. We're going to use aluminum." I said, "I can put that aluminum on there, and halfway through the year, if it gets crinkled up, I can put that sucker in the brake and the hammer and put it up on the table, and I can flatten it out. It might not be pretty, but it's going to get me to the next race." he just shakes his head. But yeah, and this new stuff is pretty tough. I'll have to give it that. It is tough.
I repaired one of them plastic doors 3 times this year.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed that it heated up with a heat gun.
Yeah.
I just make a patch out of like I'll cut a piece off of an old nose or something.
Yep.
And put behind, just like you did with aluminum.
Yep.
And there's pros and cons.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, the same way with the hand lettering. The hand lettering on the car. If you get doored and you got some donuts down the side, I can take pretty much all that off with either brake clean or something, clean it all up. And with the decal, you can't do that because you're still it's going to burn into that decal with that paint. I can take it off there and I can take a little bit of color. I can make it look pretty good, but but if it's a decal, you end up eventually having to replace it.
So let's get into that. How did you ever first get a Delco paint job, and how many years has it been?
Oh my goodness. The last year that we actually lettered our cars, I'm going to say was probably about 1976. It was the Fastback Mustang. Had the Spectrum tape on it. It glowed when you went by.
We don't like that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what they put on the car. And sometime during the course of that year, Dave come over to me and he said, "That's the ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen." I said, "Okay." I said, "You can come letter it next year." Well, by golly, he did. He's been lettering for me ever since, like 1975 on. He's been doing all my cars.
And that's it's like a national holiday.
Yeah, it is.
When Dave Loss comes to the shop to letter
Everybody
two
takes off, they bring their lunch.
2 or 3 cars. I actually miss that. I really do. And I
loved watching him do that.
I actually have been talking to the Wilts about going back this year or next year to try to, just to do like I know it's not old school to you,
Yeah.
but go back to
that year.
Yeah.
I know he painted Dave's cars
back
in the day. He did, I think, all the Keystone cars. Keystone Kids cars, I think.
Yeah.
He did. Well, he did a lot of cars every year.
And we even went back to the decals.
Mm-hmm.
We got away from the wraps even.
Oh, okay.
Just because it just plain.
Yeah.
Clean, easy to fix, easy to read.
Yep.
And we like the wraps.
Yeah.
But
Wraps are nice.
But we went back to where when you can go to the decal guy and get the the sponsor or the numbers and just stick it on and be
Doesn't
done
cost so
with it.
much.
Yeah,
Wraps are getting expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I still love the old Delco job. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, there's
He
another
told-
guy.
he
Between
told us
him
one
and Darryl,
time-
we're like brothers, all three of us. I mean, yeah, it's been that long.
I forget how many cars he told us he did that time, and
He back in his heyday, I think he was doing around 200 cars a year,
he's colorblind.
and he's colorblind.
And don't ever tell him you don't want a collar on your car because
It's going to be on there.
Alyssa gets away with that.
does she?
Oh yeah, Alyssa gets away with that. Yes,
He's
does.
scared of her.
I think he's scared of her. Yeah, I think he is.
Remember, everybody used to say no green.
Yeah, Darryl used to say no green.
Well, I tell you what, we won a lot of races with green race
Yes,
cars.
he did. I did too.
I'm not into that superstitious stuff. I mean,
No.
I feel that everybody has luck, and you know how it is, Will. When you start your night out, you want to be good, but luck is a good part of
You
it.
try to make your luck in the garage and hope it carries over till you get to the track. But there are nights when it don't matter how well you're prepared when you get there, the whole night's crap. And if it goes bad real quick, the best thing to do is just load it up and go home.
we tried to every time we tried to go to Bedford.
It's hard.
We can't never make it there.
Yeah.
And the truck overheated. We got it off the road. We called a buddy come. He brought a truck. He hooked up to the trailer. They took the truck and Cody and them took the car and left. And we was getting a ride up with somebody else from halfway, like Breezewood.
Yeah.
And they call. I get phone rings.
Where's Keith?
We're up here next to the Sheets at Bedford, and we have flat tires on the trailer. Apparently, when you pulled off the interstate to get out of the road because the truck was overheating, you ran over all the bull crap.
Yeah.
So I pull up there, and they didn't have a jack strong enough to lift the trailer up,
Yeah.
so they had to unload the race car to jack the trailer up, and I had to run to. This is going into one of your stories. I know it's long, but I had to run down to Tractor Supply and buy a wheel and a tire because
Tire was going.
the tire was going. I don't think they had a tire or something. I can't. The guy felt sorry for me. He said, "I'm gonna give you employee discount to help you out." Because so anyway, we put the tire on the truck, and Joe Padula, he always makes fun of me for this. I told him, I said, "Joe, we was 5 miles from the racetrack, and I said, load that car in the trailer, turn around, we're going home. Nothing good can come out of this. We done overheated the truck. It's sitting along the interstate.
2 flat tires.
We got 2 flat tires on the trailer. Had to go buy a wheel and tire. I said, nothing good can come out of going to this racetrack."
I got, on the back of the truck, I got 3 spare tires for the trailer. Because we were traveling so much, I always had plenty of tires on the back. I said, we get 3 flat tires, it's time to go home. And I got 2 spare tires for the truck, and then I also had 2 empty tires that I could break down and put them on the rim. I got tire repair kits. I got just about anything.
He knows he only needs 3 tires to
He
get
knows
home.
how much luck he had when he was younger. But he better be prepared for Alyssa.
And the first time I used an open trailer, I had a flat tire. I couldn't jack the trailer up. So since then, I got 2 bottle jacks in there.
Either you need
I need one of them ramps. I
boards or
never got
ramp or whatever.
You open my side door, and right there sits a bottle jack. I don't even have to crawl around the trailer, sitting right there.
Well, we have George Furling Sr.
Oh my!
He says, "You're looking good, Will, and you have a great driver, too. Alyssa has a good teacher. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you there tonight."
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you
Happy
guys.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
Well, I know we didn't. We plan. I really planned on sticking with your racing career, but
It got varied.
the stories get off.
My racing career, we could do about 10 nights of this.
Yeah.
With all the stupid stories.
I'm
Some
telling
of
you.
them are funny.
Yeah, some of them are funny.
Well, some of the feedback I get, the best shows that people enjoy is the shows that just like we're sitting in your garage talking.
Yeah, exactly.
It could go to Alyssa's career, it could go to Daryl's career, it could go to
My
what your
mother.
mom was doing. You know, we're not just sticking with this small area of what car did you drive,
Just
Will.
figure 54 years I've been doing this. There is a lot of stories. I mean, some of them's good,
Oh,
some of them's aggravating.
And most of these ones I edge into you is only ones that I've known since I was around. I mean, I don't know what happened. You know, I wanted to get with Donnie, talk about Donnie. I mean,
Well, I don't know how.
I can go as long as you want to go.
One of the first times we went to Winchester, Uncle Donnie had an implement trailer, and he towed it with an old Chevy dump truck, 1-ton Chevy dump truck. It took 3 quarts of oil to get there and 3 quarts of oil back, because it had a granny gear in it. You know, you could only go about 45 mile an hour. You couldn't. It was geared for the fields. It was not geared for the highway. We get right back past the airport, and somebody pulled out in front of me. He had to slam on the brakes. Well, the car come off on the tongue, and we couldn't get it back. So he says, we're going to fix this. We'll unhook the trailer. You just drive it off. I said, okay. So once I drove it off, this was a 6-cylinder. This was a 55 Savoy at that time.
Now, back then they had a 6-cylinder class.
They had a 6-cylinder class back that time. It was called the Cadets, I think, if I remember right. But anyhow, we're only about a mile from the racetrack. So drive it the rest of the way. By the time I got there, I got in the pits and I parked right there at the one spot, because that was when you still parked on the inside, but nobody had open trailers back at that time. And here he comes rolling in with this implement trailer in the old Chevy. But he had hooked the truck back up and he caught up to me. So, yeah, it just unloaded right there. Well, the next week it had stops on the front. It couldn't come off anymore.
Tyler Koning's on here. He says, what was Will's best ever finish at Williams Grove?
That's a very good question. I am going to say probably 6th or 7th in the late model. And I think I ran 4th with the 358 cars one night up there. Oh my goodness, who won that night? Driving for Timmons.
Andy Anderson?
No, it wasn't Andy.
Spence?
It was Spence won in the 1 car. It was number 1 at that time. And Spence won. I can't remember. I think it was 4th or 5th I ran that night. That was with
But you guys didn't get to run up. They don't run up there very much.
No, I haven't run at Williams Grove. That was the last time I ran there when they started doing the topless, what they called the topless race or something. I think it was the first year for that.
Now you won a good many at Lincoln.
I didn't. No, I never.
Didn't
won,
you?
I won.
I thought you won a lot at Lincoln.
No, never won any race. I never won a feature at Lincoln.
I didn't know that.
The best finish I ever had was 2nd. I was running 3rd. Tom Maris was leading. Doug Legum was running 2nd. I was running 3rd. Rick Eckert was running 4th. On the last lap going into the 3rd turn, I see Legum just drive over Tom, and I get to get on the brakes to keep from missing this accident, right? I never stopped, but I had to get on the brakes to miss Tom because Legum just took him out. And when I did, Rick passed me.
Huh?
And they disqualified Legum, and they give Rick the win.
Are you serious? That's close.
I was 2nd. That was
for some reason I thought you guys won.
No, I won.
You guys used to go up there.
Pretty much whenever Jeff Newman was helping me, and Mick Creek had the engines in them, we won probably a heat race every week. That was way back.
Man, another thing we didn't get into was you taking your dirt car and running asphalt with it.
Yeah, it took. That was a new design Howe car. I totaled a 4th design Howe. The first lap, first night.
Is that the steering deal?
Steering deal come off.
Set screw
and the steering come off.
Shaft come loose and
then that was before he put stops on the steering wheel. Trust me, that hurt. So anyway, Jeff Newman got me another car, but my sister and I drove to Ed Howe's out in Michigan to pick it up. Brought it back. Got back on Sunday. They painted the frame Sunday. On Friday night, we ran at Jennerstown as an asphalt car that Saturday night. I think we ran 5th in it that night. That was a good car. That was a really good
Now, you'd
car.
run asphalt on Friday nights?
It started out, we run asphalt on Friday nights, and Saturday night we would run at Winchester with dirt.
Now, how many people was doing this back then?
I would say I was probably the only one doing that. What we do is we had everything set up for the dirt car laying on the garage floor. When we got home from the asphalt, it was never dirty.
Yeah,
all we had to
clean.
do was unload it off the trailer, put the dirt tires on, put the dirt shocks on it, and go racing again. And it was It was pretty simple. The first 2 years, I think it was the second year we did that. I ran 5th in the NASCAR North Point Series. It was a
That's pretty cool.
really good deal. I think Charlie Cragen won the points, and Tom Peck was second. And the next year's whenever he went to NASCAR, the Busch cars.
Wow. Bobby Coral says, Will, did you ever win a feature on the asphalt at Jennerstown? I do not remember.
No, I did not. My highest finish was there 4th, and second to Clayton Eustace at Clearfield.
And Elmer Shank says, how many cars have you had?
Oh my goodness! I was looking at a book today.
Just look
My wife found all these pictures, and she wants to put them all in order. And I said, I don't remember the years of these cars. So I knew I had scrapbooks somewhere. So I finally found them today, and I was looking through it. I don't know. I have no idea. I've had Howe cars. I've had cars that I built. I've had Ellis cars. I've had Masterbills. I've had Rayburns. The only car I never owned was a Rocket. Never owned a Rocket car.
I know I don't have all of them. Nowhere near all of them. But
You got a lot on that
there's
ad.
almost 40 on the On Track with Mike page, and that don't cover all of them.
We bought a few cars back in the early days. We bought one. It was a Ford Fairlane that we bought from a guy in Hagerstown right off of Potomac Street. He was building it for Clem Laymasters, and then Clem got hurt. That was the first late model I had. And that was a 63 Fairlane. And then we ran it as that 1 year. And the next year we put a 66 Fairlane body on it, but we changed the front clip because the front clip was terrible. Denny Bamberg would say, how do you drive that with the wheels shaking like that? I said, I'm going to drive it this year. Next year we're not going to drive it that way. So next year I put a front clip on it, and then it was easier to drive.
And then you always ran big block Fords.
Ran
Didn't you?
the first 3 years we ran a guy across the street from Uncle Donnie. He was a Ford nut, just like me. He built 351 Clevelands for us. Never used a torque wrench.
Really?
Ran that motor 3 years. Probably had 70 races on it. Never used a torque wrench.
Just knew how tight to pull
He
stuff.
was a mechanic. He was the old school mechanic. He knew, what to do to it. He put valve springs on at the end of the year, check a bearing, put it back together. That's how we raced the first 3 years we run late models.
Brian Jones says, ask him if he still has the Superbird as a chicken house at his shop.
No, I just drove it to my Uncle George's.
But that's the
The
white
last
one. That's
week.
the white
That was
one,
the
though.
white one.
He's talking about the green one.
The green one is being completely. It's just come off the rotisserie about a month and a half ago, and a guy named Denny Shetler down in Waynesboro has completely restored this thing. It's absolutely going to be beautiful. It's going to be.
It didn't look that bad in the barn.
Oh no, this thing.
But all that sand,
Oh, my goodness.
sandblasting sand all over it.
The worst part about it was the guy that actually started doing the restoration on that back when Uncle Donnie was still alive.
Sold the motor.
Sold the motor right up, motor and transmission. So that's the only thing that's not original on that car is going to be the motor.
Now I know this is off racing topic, but the story I heard for everybody listening, Donnie and his brother was coming home from a trip somewhere.
Down in Tennessee, no, South Carolina. They bought some equipment down there.
There's a sign in the guy's yard.
Yep.
Says
Cars for sale.
cars. Does it say cars for sale?
I think it says cars for sale, but there was a Roadrunner sitting alongside the road.
And they knocked on this guy's door at 2 a.m. and bought these cars.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Paid in cash. Come home, we'll unload the equipment. Went back down, loaded the cars up, and come home. Yeah.
Now back then, how rare do you think these cars was?
Back that time, they weren't worth anything. I don't know. It's probably $1,800 car maybe back in that time. They both ran. They both drove, but they weren't very well. I had a '69 Mach 1 with 428 Cobra Jet in it, and I traded a Gremlin on it.
Wasn't nothing special.
No, back in that time, 100,000 mile car was nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
You got 100,000 miles on the car. It was time to get a new one. Now I got 300,000 miles on this car right here, and I haven't done anything to it yet. So
I seen after I seen it in your shop. I went to a car show up there at the Macedonia Church and
Yep.
seen your Uncle George up there with it.
Yep.
And that's the first I've seen him with
Yep.
the car.
Yep, that was the first. I think that was the first outing for him, and I don't think he drove. He might have drove it there, but he's
And it won a
shy
trophy.
about driving. Yeah, it won a trophy.
It won a trophy for like
It's original.
original, yeah.
It's only got 18,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's original mileage. It's 18,000 mile car. And I think Uncle Donnie's was even less than that.
Oh, was it really?
I think so.
I didn't know it had that.
Yeah,
I know I heard the story about the motor being sold, but I didn't know how many miles was
I
on
would
it.
say probably Uncle Donnie only ever drove it maybe 2,000 miles total.
And somebody was telling me that they priced one of them nose cones,
Oh, my
like
goodness.
a repo,
Yeah.
and it was like $10,000 or something like that for
Yeah, and it's
for.
not, it doesn't exactly fit.
Maybe you're the one that told me.
Probably, because it's in those. We get the Mopar books now because I did so much of the restoration stuff on them. I get these Mopar books, and they got all these prices of these old cars in there. Oh my goodness! So carpet, $800. I going, this is just nuts.
Can you imagine how scary it is to drive that car around? I mean,
I drove it from my garage to right in here in Greencastle, and I parked it. And I tried to pick the unbusiest time of the day. It was like 1:30 in the afternoon, and I thought there's not going to be any traffic. Oh my God. There's traffic everywhere, road constructions. Oh, it was a mess. And here you go, you got a $250,000 car. You're driving down the road, and you're looking at everybody else, hoping they don't run into you.
Will's used to driving his Hondas.
Yeah.
That, he just parks anywhere.
Let the keys in it, whatever.
Well, what do you think, if you had to pick one moment in your racing career, what do you think your proudest moment was? And now, proudest moment, I'll tell you, I'll just be upfront with you. Sometimes your proudest moment isn't a win.
I'll be honest with you, probably when I was running the Max Series stuff, running with the quality of cars we were running with at that time, at the 55 lapper at the end of the year at Bedford, I led. And every time there was a caution, I would lose the lead. The 114, I don't remember that guy's name, but he's from Western Pennsylvania. And Roy Deese was driving Speedy Hayes' car at that time. Well, on the restarts, they would pass me because the valve spring just wouldn't let me go. My mother, she still stomps her feet about this. But anyway, with one lap to go, that chip of the valve spring finally got stuck in the oil pump. 1 or 2 laps to go. So I ended up having to shut the motor off because there was no way I could take a chance of blowing the motor off. You know what I mean? So I shut the motor off, and then Roy Deese actually ended up winning the race. But it would take me 2 laps to build up enough steam with that broken valve spring. But I'd say that was probably the most, I'm going to say maybe not the most fun I had, but the most memorable thing because the car was that good that night that he could pass that quality. And Pennsboro was also a good racetrack for me for all the more times I ran there. One year there was 220 cars or something like that, and I timed 37th. That was some of the 200 of the best cars in the country.
Was that the year you was from New Mexico?
No, that's what Dave wanted me to be. But I was never Billy Joe Bob from New Mexico. No, I wasn't me.
So they found out. Dave found out they had money for the longest toe. See, he wanted to sign Will in as
Billy Joe
Jim Bob from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get the longest toe.
Yeah, that year there, I was running 4th in the heat race, and Rodney Combs broke. I think the driveline came over or something. And I hit him in the back, and I hit him with the front end of the car and put a bar through the radiator. There's actually a picture. I don't know if it's on yours or not, but there's a picture somewhere on the website of everybody standing around my car, and Dave's stuffing hot dog rolls in the radiator.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, you've never seen that. They're stuffing hot dog rolls in the radiator to try to plug it up so we can go back out and race again, filling it full of water. And then they didn't tighten the cap the whole way down so there wouldn't be any pressure on it. Because we only had like 4 laps to go or something like that. We weren't going to qualify, but it would have been better for the B main to get up far enough for the B main. The car was good that year. I don't know, just...
Well, I'll tell you what, Will. The times I went racing with you, either something broke on the car and you never got to go out to race, or the weather had turned bad.
But he always had a smile on his face.
Those times that we had at the races, after the races, we had some good times.
Oh, yeah.
We'd stop at the restaurants, and I tell you what, they were some good times.
Yeah,
so we do have a lot of memories.
Get the waitresses fighting over our tip
Yeah,
money.
the waitresses was fighting. He had to go over and console the waiters. And that was true, but no. Well, one of the races that sticks out with me the most, the old semi-late days, Donnie Miller, I want to tell you, he was a wonderful man, and you know, Donnie didn't. How do I put it? I don't want to say anything wrong. Donnie didn't buy the best of everything. He bought what
Was needed.
what you needed.
Exactly.
And them old semi-late motors wasn't nothing special. And you know, you race against guys that got pumped, and they was like, man, I got ripped off from machine shop, and you know,
Yeah.
supposedly bigger cubic inch than what they thought they were and stuff
Yep.
like that. But that old Maverick, that you won some races in that thing, and the one that sticks out the heartbreak the most was the one up at Bedford.
Oh yeah.
Was that like a Labor Day race?
It was Fair Week because they had the Ferris wheel up in the background, and I was running fourth. I think it was Wyatt, Jack Pencil, somebody else, and then me.
Dougie Timmons was
He might have been in that.
was
bunch
there
too. He could have been.
around you somewhere.
They come down to the halfway mark, and I had soft tires on, so I knew I had to sort of baby my tires. And these guys were wearing their tires out. They were just going at it tooth and nail. Whenever they give the halfway sign, I thought, okay, time to go. Because every other time I come off the fourth turn, I was looking at the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel was beautiful.
Yeah, he just cruising around
I'm just cruising.
like fourth or fifth, and we're just figuring that's all the cars got.
They give the halfway sign, and in 2 laps, I'm leading this thing.
Yeah, he just passed
I
everybody.
just passed. The car was that good. That car was awesome. That was one we built in the shop too. I don't even remember what that thing was. But back in that day, everybody worried about motor more than they worried about anything else. I was always the guy that made things light. Them cars, everybody complained about the Maverick, the motors, and they pumped my motor. It was pumping 348, and theirs was pumping 406, and anyway, I was worried about the weight. I mean, even the 4-cylinder cars, you drove one of them. They were built to be light. And because nobody scaled back at that time. They didn't scale cars. They scaled the late models, but they didn't scale any of the other cars. So some of those cars I built only weighed 1,800 pounds with me in the car. Now they were all good 95 wall cages and that kind of stuff, but if it had a little extra piece of metal on there that was beveled over for a plug or whatever, it was ground flat. And
How much weight you could save by grinding all the welds down?
I don't know how many grinding discs we used, but it was light. The car was extremely light.
But now finish the story, Shirley. He shot from fourth to the lead like he planned it.
Yeah.
He's leading the race now, and
Was it
And
4 or
I think-
5 laps to go?
I think, if I remember correctly, the oil line going to the gauge broke,
Yep.
and it started blowing. It started just smoking like it was blowing
I
up.
thought the motor was blowing up. No, it was a pinhole in the oil line.
And I mean, tell you, he passed everybody like they was sitting still, and we was like, what the heck can possibly go wrong? That was a heartbreak for Donnie too, because Donnie, like I say, Donnie was the kind of guy that by no means did he give you stuff you couldn't win with.
No, right.
But Donnie's stuff would win races without being like
Top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just simple.
Yeah.
It was simple.
Well,
And those motors he was running, they were the motors that he was running up in PA.
yeah. Well, I still have the motor that we won all the races with the beginning with the modified and the 7-lates. I still have that motor sitting in the garage right now. It's wrapped in bubble wrap.
Is that right?
Yeah, don't have any heads on it. No cam in it. But the assembly's there. And what it is, it's a 351 crank offset ground. It comes out to a 377. It has a Chevrolet rod in it with a TRW piston. I think we built the whole thing back in the day with the machine working all for like $2,200. I mean, that was with the heads and all. And it just run. And it was bored. It was bored to 10. It was bored to 20. And it was bored to 30. It's at 40 now. And Phil Benedict, no, it was a Kreiner. It was probably Kreiner at that time, so we can't bore that thing anymore. He said it's too close to the cylinder walls now. So they just wrapped it in bubble
I remember
wrap.
Bobby was building them. Bobby
That's who built it. Bobby Barnhart.
Barnhart.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember his last name.
Yeah.
He worked for Benedict.
Yeah, he worked for Benedict. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And I mean, they won races. They was motors. I mean, but Donnie, he just had a niche for like building cars simply.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't nothing flashy. It wasn't,
Well, I took 3 quarts of paint and painted the frame, the interior, and the body all at one time. Daryl kept telling me, look like chalk. I said, yeah. So it goes fast.
You got anything,
Your
Sean?
daughter's back on here. She says
It's past his bedtime.
his optimism in racing is unlike anything I've ever seen. He doesn't get enough credit for how much he genuinely loves racing.
Amen.
I'm thankful to have had him to watch growing up.
And I'm glad to say that he is a 2011 Arch Hall of Famer.
Mhm.
He's in the Arch All Racing Club of Hagerstown Hall of Fame, so you deserve that. I'm not putting no pressure on Alan, but I would love to see you honored at the Saggy race. I think you deserve that.
No,
But
I don't need that. I'm racing somewhere that night.
you need to be shaking hands and kissing babies.
I do that all the time.
Jimmy Moser's back on here.
Uh-oh, Jimmy.
He says, hailstorm at Bedford.
Oh my. Yeah, that was another story. I had just gotten that brand new 99 Dolly Chevy, black, beautiful truck. That's the one Jimmy was laying underneath the dash on a wreck.
Yeah, well, at least that's what he told the cops.
Anyway, yeah, it come a hailstorm up. We was racing up there, and my crew got the canvas over the back of the truck or the trailer, come up and held it over top of the truck so it wouldn't get hailstormed. It was a brand new, beautiful black 699 Chevy Dolly. That was more money than I ever bought for anything. I think I paid almost what I paid for this last Dolly. I think I paid for that thing. So, yeah.
Now, they all had black eyes and bruises from
They were all under the canvas.
getting hit with.
Hey, we've been up there when they've had their storms.
Oh, my.
That wind gets up,
Oh.
it just takes
Some of
everything.
the nastiest storms I ever seen was at Bedford.
Yep.
Canopies blowing down through the pits.
Yep.
Freddie Bakerman, he says agree.
Yeah.
Well, we got to tell one more story. I know we're over. I know
Yeah,
we're over.
yeah.
It's past Will's bedtime. I don't want to. No, I'm not going to tell it. I don't want to end the show on a bad note.
Oh.
I was going to tell the story about the Winchester wreck.
That's
but-
fine. That's funny.
I know, but I'll just tell you.
The one where Jimmy said I didn't see a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just tell you my point of view. We was hauling the 4-cylinder and we was going down the interstate, and like if you don't never notice it, like I never even noticed there was a road over there. Like you just cruising and
Yeah.
there's a rest stop there and
Yeah.
everything. Well, we look over and there's this house there, and Jimmy. I know people that's on the radio can't see me, but Jimmy is standing at this house watching us go by
Yeah.
and just waving at us. And we all three of us, it was 3 of us in the truck, we all look over and we're like, how did he get up there? Like we didn't
I'll
even,
never forget that night.
I mean, I don't even think we seen the truck and trailer. Like, cause we was focused on Jimmy.
Yeah.
So Daryl turns around, he's like, how do we get up that road? Like it took us a minute to figure out how to even get. We know how Will got there, but so we go up there. Here, poor Will. I felt so bad for him. He was going to Winchester, had a nice enclosed trailer with living quarters in it that would suit him great because he could go spend the night
Yeah,
and
well,
everything.
We spend 2 and 3 nights away from home.
Yeah, and a truck pulled off the edge of the interstate. Some people got stopped. Some people couldn't. Will had to take evasive action, and Andy Freeze was there beside you, I think they said.
And he was beside me. Yeah.
And to keep from running into somebody, he had to cut off the interstate, and when he did, the hinges on the trailer door of the semi-tractor and trailer, you had to be a few inches from making
A few
it.
inches from me.
Now, the hill would have killed you, but, I mean, not killed you, but, I mean, the hill would have
Slowed me down.
killed the truck,
Yeah.
but the hinges on the rear of the semi peeled open his enclosed trailer like a can opener. Then it was a drainage ditch that went to a hill, and it basically turned the truck into a banana.
Yep.
And Jimmy's up there. When we get beside Jimmy, I look down, and there's Will sitting in the back of a police car, like he's being arrested. And he looked like he was driving a late model, because all you could see, for some reason, I don't know why, but I have this vision of what he looked like. He was sitting in the back, Shirley, and you felt like all you could see was from like half his face up, like he was sitting on a milk crate or something in the back. Like I don't know why he was just looked like his poor little soul sitting in the back of this police car. And I'm like, what are they doing with Will? Like, I mean, he didn't mean to run off the road. But anyway, the cop come up, asked Jimmy, "What'd you see?" And he said, "I seen the heater. I seen the radio." He said, "Anything under that dash you name, I seen it."
He thought we were dead.
But and they actually said, "Can we tow the trailer back home?" And the cop said, "As long as nothing falls off of it." And did Krause?
No, Jimmy drove it the whole way home.
Somebody followed him though.
Pink insulation the whole way to Green Castle.
And they said the thing was taking up almost both lanes. It was bent so bad.
Yep, that's a fact.
And
Tom Myers actually
came back. Yeah.
And got the car and took it to Winchester, and I ran to Winchester too. The cop took me to the racetrack.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the cop took me to the racetrack. After he got done with me,
hey, Will's the only racer in history that a cop has ever took him to the track, not took him
from the track.
Yeah, that's my fame to glory, I guess.
Alyssa's back on here.
Oh, no.
Alyssa says, ask him about the trip to Indiana 3 summers ago.
Oh, my goodness. Here's another traveling trip.
We're going to break the record for the longest show in history.
We were going out Route 70. We were going to Brownstown. Am I making something go crazy?
It's that Alexa thing.
Okay. I'm going, she's driving, and we're going to Brownstown, Indiana to race. And we're going down through there, and 70 East is shut down. It's stopped. The traffic is stopped for miles. There was an accident way back, and we're going west side. We're going west. And we're going out through there, and she says, "Oh, shit." Here comes a burgundy-colored Coronado, Chevrolet Coronado, through the medium strip, up in the air. He's already got the front end smashed up. He hit somebody. He wasn't paying attention, apparently. He come through the medium strip, come up across in front of me, and she turned the truck so hard to keep from hitting him that he hit the side of the trailer, and there's still a burgundy mark down the side of the trailer. It's got little dents in it, but it's not tore up. But it's got little dents the whole way down side with burgundy paint on it. And she's going, We got to the next exit. She said, "You're driving from here." She said, "You think we should go back?" I said, "No, we're
you never stopped?
No, we didn't. We tried to find information out, and apparently either this guy got out of the car or something, because there was never any police report on that. So I don't know if he bounced across there and went, because there were still cars behind us when we got off the interstate. There was no accident that they shut down the road. So I don't know what. I guess he just kept on going till he got off the road, and that was it.
But Will, you realize that racers could write a book just from traveling.
Just the traveling part of it.
Just the stuff you see.
Yeah. And I've only got a small part because I never run as many miles as a lot of these guys have. But.
I mean, I know we was going to Winchester one night, and was it Cody called me?
Cody called us.
He said, "Dad, you won't believe this. I thought your truck and trailer was totaled." I was like, "What's wrong?" He goes, "I just passed some guy. Some guy just passed me in the fast lane going the wrong way."
Oh my goodness.
He said, "So be careful," because we was heading down after.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't know where he's at or what's going on." When we got down, it was down there where you're going through West Virginia, where the big concrete wall is. So there's nowhere to go.
Right.
They had him pulled over, 4 or 5 police cars. He's still facing the wrong way up against that concrete wall. And I'm like thinking, man, you know how lucky that guy was.
Him and everybody that was seen him.
Oh,
yeah.
Cody said he passed him so fast before he could even
think about
what to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, we've all...
Cody was headed southbound in the southbound lane, and he was headed northbound in the southbound lane.
That's not good.
I know one day we was coming home from Winchester, and Buzz Jones comes running by the truck, looking like he's seen a ghost, and I'm like, we're stopped. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, "Oh man, there's a car underneath the tractor and trailer, and that guy's got to be dead." No, I don't know where he was running to. He passed us. We was there for hours and hours and hours,
yeah.
and I can't remember exactly if the guy was okay, if he was hurt. I mean, but something happened where a car went underneath the back of a tractor and trailer, and all us racers was was stuck in it.
The breakdown stuff that we've had, the breakdown parts, has always been funny part. The accident parts, there's no funny part about that.
No.
So,
But we've all been lucky. But they got anything on there, Shirley, before we end it?
Nope, that's it.
Well, Will Rowe is a good one to have the longest show in history. I think 803 or 808 something is the longest show we've ever done. But hey, we did it. We did do a 6-year return.
there we go, yeah. 6 more years, we'll talk about the other 2 years of my racing career.
I know we probably might not have talked this, maybe something that everybody wanted to talk about, but I just enjoy the stories and the stuff that you don't remember and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Will, I want to thank you
Yep, thank you.
and thank you and your family and everything you ever did for me. I do really appreciate it, even if maybe I didn't act like it. I mean, I think I did, but I don't. You know, back then when you're young, you don't.
It was all about racing, man.
I know,
It
but
was all
you
fun.
did. You was more. You've done a lot for a lot of people, and you gave the shirt off your back to a lot of people. And
Daryl said I'm still too good to people.
well, he's you don't want to be like him because he's different. But I just want to tell you,
Guy.
Daryl's a good guy.
no, Daryl's a good
I wouldn't
guy.
be around without Daryl.
We always joke about him being mean and everything,
Yeah.
but no, I appreciate you and your uncle and your family, everybody. I mean, that's memories that will never leave my mind.
Right.
And you truly are everyone's favorite driver.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know anybody. I always said if you have a problem with Will Rowe, you're the problem because you've always been the type that you worked your butt off to run a race, and even whenever you got done wrong or somebody tore your stuff up, the first thing would have been the easiest thing to do would be to flip out and just go berserk because you went through so much to get there.
Yeah.
And you always took it in stride, and you always acted the way opposite of way that everybody would have acted. So
I always
that's
told Daryl you could make money at this. I just didn't tell him how much it cost.
you make $1 million out if you start with $2 million.
Exactly. I didn't tell him that part.
He learned it. He learned it before you did.
He did.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Will.
Yep. You're welcome.
Appreciate everybody that tuned in. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and spend some time with your families. And thanks to WRGG 93.7 FM for giving us this time slot. And thanks to Todd Ward of TA Ward Construction. And hope to see you all next Tuesday.